As Penn Teller once said, "Alright, enough of the fun stuff, let's do another card trick." Now this absolutely has nothing to do with the video, and you're not going to see a card trick. However, I might do one somewhere down the road when I have a little bit more of a stable camera that I want to use. But no, that's basically just a segue to get into the video that I'm sure you guys have been waiting for. I'm going to tell my horror, pun intended, story about Halloween Horror Nights 22. Now first off, we're going to go way back. We're going to go back in time. Yeah, I wanted an excuse to do that. And with Universal, so it makes sense to actually use a Back to the Future reference. So, we're going to go back in time. Okay, fine. I won't do it again, I promise. Okay. We're going to go back to the beginning of 2012. Actually, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning of 2011. So, basically, there were rumors all the way a year in advance that there was something cooking between Penn and Teller and Universal. And these were very, very slight rumors, and they were just dropped here and there just pretty much to create a buzz. Whether we knew if there was going to be anything involved or not was anyone's guess. But around the 1st of 2012, we actually started hearing some more concrete evidence that Penn and Teller had something to do with Universal Orlando, and hopefully Halloween Horror Nights 22. Now, we started off with basically a bunch of hearsay, wondering if it was going to be a show for Halloween Horror Nights, if they were talking about maybe doing a club for City Walk, or anything in between, just Penn and Teller involvement with Universal, which was basically solidified by a tweet that Penn Teller posted on Twitter, basically saying they were in Universal and they pretty much were talking, having business conversations, and to expect something really cool to come out of it, and if it worked out, it was going to be amazing. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but still, when it comes down to it, that got everybody talking, and it got my attention, obviously. I'd had my curiosity, but then it got my attention. Yeah, that's right. But still, what was going to happen? Was Penn and Teller going to do HHN, City Walk? Were they going to be doing a show for maybe Mardi Gras? No. Nothing was announced. All we knew was Penn and Teller were working with Universal, and we didn't know exactly what was going to be coming from it. But we got into a little bit more concrete information, and as the months passed by, more details and more puzzle pieces would fall into place. And we found out that yes, it was Halloween Horror Nights that Penn and Teller were going to be a part of. Now, once again, the rumor mill started to spin and churn like it does on the internet. And of course, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true. But when it comes down to it, basically what we had was this. Penn and Teller were involved with Halloween Horror Nights. Were they the icon? Were they a show? Would they be at all the events? Would they just make a special appearance on the opening night, which coincidentally was my birthday last year? All these answers just were not answered, obviously. Now, we came through and pretty much found out that yes, through Twitter, we found out that Penn and Teller would be involved with Halloween Horror Nights, not as a show, but they were going to create a haunted house. Now, this piqued my interest 100%. Now, I've, of course, have always strayed away from Halloween Horror Nights. If you want to go back to, I believe, let's go with 1993, I think that's about right. I went down to 1993, and I remember sitting at my hotel room in the Days Hotel on iDrive, and I was watching television after a long day in the parks, and I remember a video coming through, a commercial for Halloween Horror Nights. It freaked me out. And I remember, if you want to go back to my childhood, I don't like haunted houses. There's a place in Gatlinburg called Mysterious Mansion that, of course, I shied away from while my family went inside and I waited outside. And some goof that looked like Steve Austin, dressed all in black, tried to take me away. But luckily he didn't, so I didn't get kidnapped. And I'm sure it would have taken me back anyway, so it didn't really matter. But basically, I don't like haunted houses. And if you want to go even further back, there was a time that I went to a very special place, which of course is Fairmont in Valley Worlds of Fun, and had an opportunity to go through a haunted house with someone I deemed very special. And I didn't take it. So basically that tells you right there, I don't like being scared. I don't mind horror movies. I'm starting to get into them. You have to have a coherent plot storyline and a setup in order for me to be interested. I'm not big on the slasher films. It just depends on who it is. Don't like chainsaws. So, real quick, any characters that are watching these videos, don't target me, please. I don't know what I'll be wearing for HHN 23. Oops, I gave away the punchline of the story. If I go. But, wow, this is the most horrible wink in the history of winking. Now, but please just stay away from me. I don't like chainsaws. Obviously, I don't like snakes, I don't like spiders, and these are things that I just will stay away from. So, me going to Halloween Horror Nights was something that would probably never happen. Well, then the gauntlet was turned down, and I heard about Penn Teller's involvement, and I was in. 100%. Didn't buy my tickets then because I wanted to save my time. Now, in 2012, of course, I became an annual pass holder. Now, I don't have the preferred or the premier pass because I don't need them, because I don't drive, so I don't really need the discounts or the parking. I don't need parking because I come over thanks to Mears and the $19 ticket that gets me from Disney. And I don't need to worry about merch discounts because I have a AAA card. Yes, I do not drive and have a AAA Plus card. Try to wrap your head around that. The discounts are amazing. At Universal especially. SeaWorld discounts are decent. I'm going to try to take advantage of the Legoland discounts maybe next year. I haven't quite decided yet. It won't be this year because this year's pretty much packed already. But if I can work it out, I might. It could happen. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So, I digress because I like to ramble a lot. As you well know, I ramble a lot. It's literally what it says in one of the videos. And if not, there will be one eventually. But pretty much, we found out Halloween Horror Nights was going to involve Penn Teller. And then the rumor mill really started spinning. Would they be involved with the haunted house? Would they be in the haunted house? Would they be a part of the haunted house? Now, Dr. Jimmy, who is also part of the reason why I make these videos, posted his April 1st, his April Fool's Halloween Horror Nights video, which basically said that Penn and Teller would be involved in a house. Penn and Teller would be in the house. They would be involved in the last room of the house. And then you could meet them, talk to them, and they'd do something really horrible to somebody in the audience. So, piqued my interest. Even though the videos in the past have proven incorrect, but they have been proven to be partially correct in places as well. So I was thinking, would Penn and Teller actually be there? Me going to actually go into something involving them maze-wise, something they created, that's good, that's fine. But I want to tell you my sob story. That's how we'll get to Halloween Horror Nights. Now, okay. I remember back in 1990, when I was about, let's go about 9, 10 years old. My math is god-awful, so I'm going to go with 9 years old, because I'm pretty sure that's right. I remember watching The Magic of David Copperfield. And I remember seeing a segment of this show with two magicians that I've never heard of before, Penn and Teller. And they helped David Copperfield do a trick. Now, this piqued my interest. And it didn't take a lot to pique my interest back in the day. I mean, I watched American Gladiators and bought the toys. I mean, anything could pique my interest at this point. But back then, I was really impressed with Penn and Teller. So I told my mom, and I sent her to the video store to find their video, which was called Cruel Tricks for Dear Friends. Not a magic show, but basically like a how-to, and it just told you how to do a bunch of tricks. Did find out through the grapevine back in the day, way before the interwebs, that Penn and Teller were all about exposing magic. And that's how they ended up doing the BS show on Showtime. Yeah, totally kayfabe the real title of that show, because I'm trying to stay away from the NSFW. So, I watched the video, and basically watched it to the point that I memorized the thing from top to bottom. The intro at the very beginning of the video, that's actually from the Diamond and the Dope, which was one of the tricks in the video. Don't know how I can remember that, but I can pretty much remember most of that video to a T. Test me sometime, trust me. But, became a huge fan of Penn and Teller. Well, years go by, as they often do, and I ended up in Las Vegas. Well, I was on a mission to find and meet Penn and Teller. Now, there was a magic convention going on in town at the time, and I was thinking, yay, this is my opportunity. So we went to Harrah's, and I dragged my stepmom through the whole place searching for Penn and Teller. Did not find them. I did meet Siegfried on that trip, so that was pretty cool because Nowadays, it's really hard to meet Siegfried and Roy, so I did meet Siegfried, and he's a really nice guy. He was actually at the Mark Kalin magic show, and I was there, and he was there too, so I got to meet him, got his autograph on a napkin that I've probably long lost. But I digress. Again, so strike one. Struck out there. Now, I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm a big fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And they were going to be in Virginia. Now, my mom has a close friend in Virginia, and she was going to take me to go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But, of course, this wasn't the reason I was going. I wasn't going because it's Rocky Horror, because I can do it anywhere. Penn and Teller were the narrators. So, this is two. And basically, things fell through, as they often do, and did not get to go. So, struck out there. This is my third shot. Third time's a charm. It's my big opportunity to finally see Penn and Teller, something they created. And then they raised the odds. Universal made the announcement that Penn and Teller were canceling dates at their show at the Rio in order to be at Halloween Horror Nights. Now, Halloween Horror Nights media opening night was my birthday last year. So I put two and two together, and I got that Penn and Teller would have to be there to promote the house. So I'm in. I'm totally in. Not a Halloween Horror Nights fan at all. Not a horror fan at all, but I'm in. And then I start watching Dr. Jimmy's videos, start learning about Halloween Horror Nights history. Try to say that 5 times fast. And then Tim actually did a video about the Scaredy Cat's Guide to Halloween Horror Nights when Tim and Jen went through Halloween Horror Nights, and Jen was freaked out, and it's pretty much how I would deal with it. And going by myself, I pretty much have a target on my back. But I decided to go anyway. So we get there. Fly home, down there, having a great time at Disney. Go to Universal, and I start chatting up the team members. And I say, I'm a huge Penn and Teller fan. Huge Penn and Teller fan. And it's my birthday. And this isn't a work. I'll show you my ID if you want to see it. And I would really like the opportunity to have a little FaceTime. Shake their hands, maybe get an autograph, maybe get a picture. Because I struck out twice. And I want another opportunity. And they understood. And they said if there's anything they could do, they would. But everybody kept telling me the same thing, and the same thing, and the same thing. They said, go to the house and talk to the people at the house. I was like, alright, I can do that. So I became an annual pass holder. So I have the Power Pass, which was my roundabout way to get to that. Power Pass, of course, basically just gives you admission to Halloween Horror Nights. And there's blackout dates, but it pretty much gives you all the time that I'm always down, which is September and now December. The blackout dates never apply. So I don't ever have to worry about that. So the annual pass pretty much provides me admission to Halloween Horror Nights, permits at a cheaper rate with an awesome annual pass holder gimmick that I'll mention that in a minute. And that also brings up the fact that it gets me into the parks pretty much anytime I want for the duration of the 2 trips I go down each year. And once I become a resident, all bets are off. So that's good. Became a pass holder, and basically I found out about a pass holder event that started at 5 o'clock. Which Halloween Horror Nights starts a little bit after that, so 2 hours before the public, I was going to get in Halloween Horror Nights. So everything was set. It was ready to roll. Everything was going to be awesome. Weather's starting to look a little bad, a little bleak. I went over to Halloween Horror Nights, got in line, got my credentials, went inside, and lo and behold, I get in my first line, which I see the Tim tracker for the first time, but I didn't quite realize that was him. So that's the first time I met you, Tim, and hope to see you guys again in September. Try to work something out. Meet you guys in September or December. Just chill, hang out, and get each other on each other's YouTube channels. But waiting in line for House of Horrors, which is one of the first ones we can go into. House of Horrors in Alice Cooper, which is in the Kid Zone area. So I go into House of Horrors, and I make it through my first maze. Had a good time. Got through the second, and I literally mean the split second I got out of the house. The deluge. Downpour. Like, hardcore downpour. Like, it rained for 4 hours, and that's no lie. So, And my poncho was an older Disney one. It had a hole in it, so didn't realize that until it was too late. Had no umbrella with me, so I got drenched. And I got soaked from head to toe, and I'm miserable at this point. My shoes are filled with water, and I'm basically trudging through inches upon inches of dirty, nasty water caused by the downpour. But I trudge on because this is my mission. It's my birthday and I'll do what I want. And on my birthday, my mission is to meet Penn Teller. So we head up towards World Expo's entrance, and they stop us. They said they're not letting anybody through right now, so they're going to stop us for the time being. So we're all standing there getting absolutely soaked. I'm wearing the poncho, but it's not really helping very much because I'm already soaked to the bone. My clothes are wet. Everything on me is completely wet. I'm hating life at this moment. But finally get through, trudge over to Penn Teller. Now, of course, I'm wearing jean shorts, which are now drenched, so it feels like I weigh about 30 extra pounds and have 30 extra pounds of water to walk with me. So I get there. I get to the front of the maze, and the poor team members are standing out there, don't have an umbrella, so they're standing there getting soaked. There's a really nice guy and a really nice girl that are standing there and they're just getting drenched. I tell them my story, they understand, and they call their manager over. Now their manager is coming all the way from, I believe they were at Walking Dead, which was Disaster, long day. So they're coming from Disaster all the way, and of course with all the walls everywhere, all the construction going on at Universal Studios, it takes a longer time to get there because you have these tiny, tiny walkways, and everybody's trying to get over there, and everybody's completely soaked to the bone from the downpour. And they finally get over there. Told me there was nothing they could do, so they were already gone. And I was doing what I was told. I was told to go over there and talk to the team member manager in charge of the house. First off, the team manager was a ginormous goof, and he basically chastised the team members, the ones that were drenched from head to toe, the second he got there, basically telling them to do their job, and just bad show all across. You don't do that in front of customers. You pull them behind backstage and do it that way. But they were really not in the wrong, and I stood there with them getting wet. They finally got an umbrella about 40 minutes into the time that I was waiting. So I'm waiting there almost an hour for this guy to show up. And he tells me they're gone. They're already gone. So I go to the house, dejected. I do the house. House is phenomenal, by the way. And I'm done. I'm done with Halloween Horror Nights at this point. I'm drenched from head to toe. I got screwed out of meeting Penn Teller, and it's just kind of like, I'm done. So I left. Went to NASCAR, got some food, got a little warmth, and I went back to Disney. I was done. Now, of course, the hordes weren't out because it was raining. Now, luckily, right after House of Horrors, and right after Penn Teller, I ended up doing Bill and Ted, which is where I ran into Dr. Jimmy, and enjoyed Bill and Ted completely, and then pretty much after that I left. Because Bill and Ted was part of the deal with the annual pass holder event. So I did that. And then, of course, I went to the gift shop, got my dog tag, which sold out pretty much opening weekend. So I'm one of the only ones that has one of those. Got my dog tag, got a shirt, which I'll show you, actually. This is my lanyard for the night. Which you notice this exact ensemble from my profile picture on Facebook and Twitter, which is me at Halloween Horror Nights drinking a frozen lemonade. And this Halloween Horror Nights shirt, I'll show you this real quick. Fail. Once you're inside, there is no way out. And of course, one of the major reasons I got the shirt, aha, victory is mine. Penn Teller, new to Las Vegas. Yeah. So, here's my visual aids. And when I found out I was going to meet Penn Teller, this shirt I'm wearing, this Penn Teller live at Living in Vegas Live at the Rio shirt, I got it on eBay because It's really hard to find Penn Teller merchandise nowadays because their online stores don't really have anything except for a perfectly ordinary deck of cards. So, couldn't buy a shirt, so I had to go on eBay and find it. But luckily I found a nice guy that sold me a Penn Teller shirt. So I was ready to go. It's good to go. But that's backtracking. So I leave the park. I'm not in a good mood. My birthday, not the greatest. And of course, it wasn't the greatest couple of days for a lot of reasons. But I was really dejected about it. So, like people do, I complained. And I complained to Universal and I sent them an email and asked them about, told them about what happened and told them about the team manager. And I told them about what I was not really promised, but what they were saying. Said I was really dejected, really upset about it, and if there was anything they could do, I'd really be appreciative. I get a phone call. My cell phone doesn't ring very often. So I got a phone call from Universal Orlando, and I talked to someone. They were really, really nice about it. But unfortunately, there was really nothing they could do. The problem was, they actually said to me, specifically, if there was anything they could do, they would do it. Like set up a personal meet and greet with me and Penn Teller if they could do it. Now, if I would have talked to them, apparently, they could have set something up. Well, I want to backtrack a little bit more. I'll tell you another reason why I'm agitated. So I was told by everyone to go meet with the manager in charge at Nuke Las Vegas. And I was like, alright, that's fine. I can do that. I got plenty of time on my hands. This is the only reason I'm here. I'm not here for The Walking Dead. I don't care about Silent Hill. I really don't like... Well, I like Alice Cooper, but I'm not there for Alice Cooper because obviously I know there's snakes in there. Because a team member dropped that information on me the day before. And, I mean, I don't care about anything else. I mean, I'm not a horror guy at all. I was there for Penn Teller, and basically, they told me to wait there. Well, unbeknownst to me, and I should have known something like this was going to happen too. While I was waiting for a manager, like I was told to do, Penn and Teller were filming a segment in the house to promote it. And then once they were leaving the house, they were shaking people's hands, taking pictures, and autographs on the entire queue line. So while I waited, like I was told to do, I missed my third opportunity to finally meet Penn and Teller on my 31st birthday. Long day. 31st birthday. Anyway. 31st birthday, yeah. So I'm so agitated, just like, don't even say things right. 31st birthday. So I'm angry. I'm, like, shooting flames out of my head right now. Just so mad at Universal. And I talked to them, and they basically told me they could have set something up, but they can't now. So, I'm thinking if this was Disney, maybe something would have been worked out. They could have comped me to come back down. Now, not pay for my airfare or anything like that, or my accommodations. Well, maybe my accommodations for a night or so. Go down for a couple of nights, and be there on Halloween, and go to the houses, be VIP'd, and finally get to meet Penn and Teller. Obviously, that didn't happen. Well, so I said my goodbyes to Universal, and I basically said, if there's anything you can do, please do it. I really would appreciate it. Months go by. Find out Penn and Teller are going to be at Hard Rock Live on January 31st, which I should be at without any question. And due to how much money I spent on the almost month I was gone in November/December, with the parks and with the fantasy, is all the money I spent. It's not feasible for me to go down for a couple of days just to go see Penn and Teller. So, I couldn't do it. I told Universal, and I asked them, I was like, well, is there anything you can do? I mean, Hard Rock Live is on property after all. Is there any possible way you can help me out with this? Because of what happened on Halloween Horror Nights, I think that you might be able to help me out. Got another call from Universal. Basically, they told me that there was nothing they could do, and it was out of their hands. And have a nice day. So, I can't really call it a forced strike. I guess I kind of can. So here we are. I have one of the worst nights of Halloween Horror Nights in history. On my birthday of all things. On my 31st birthday of all things. I don't get to meet Penn and Teller. I have a horrible time. I get to do 2 houses, which I was actually preparing myself mentally to do them all. And it's just, I'm so agitated, so angry, and so frustrated with Universal with this. And I said, I don't know if I'm coming back. I don't know if I can come back. But, as minds often do, I changed mine. I'm going to give Halloween Horror Nights another shot. I'm not a horror guy. I'm obviously going to have to see what comes up with the icon and the houses and the scare zones. But I think, I'm almost positive, about 75-80% sure, I'm coming back. And I'm back with a vengeance this time. I don't want to deal with the problems I had last time. So if there's Penn and Teller involvement at Halloween Horror Nights this year, and there might be because it was a very, very popular attraction. The house was very popular with everyone, with locals and with fans. If there's a Penn and Teller attraction, I'm going to find out about it. I'm going to start talking to team members, management on the phone early. And I'm going to set something up because I'm not getting another strike when it comes to meeting Penn and Teller. It's going to happen. It was going to happen this year, and it should have happened last year, sorry. Should have happened last year, but it didn't. But I will say right now, if I have another opportunity, I'm going to move heaven and earth to make it happen. Whether it's just shaking hands one time, getting a small autograph, and a picture that would forever be my profile picture on all social media. That's all it would take. And I wasn't asking Universal to pay my trans, pay my admission, which I already have anyway because I'm an annual pass holder, pay for my accommodations or my flight down. No. I just wanted another opportunity to meet Penn and Teller on a night that I knew they were going to be there. So, that is the sordid story of my birthday last year. Now, I love Bill and Ted. It was amazing. House of Horrors was my first Halloween Horror Nights haunted house. And I enjoyed myself. But pretty much after that, the rain started and I just done the party on my good mood. And with the way that the team member manager I met at Penn and Teller dealt with everything, just wasn't right. And I don't think he's watching, but thank you for ruining my dream, sir. I really appreciate it. And I know you were just doing your job, but you could have done it a little bit differently. And someone should have told me they were there. There should have been a way to tell that they were there. And then I would have just left the poor Tech Cat team members waiting in the rain, met Penn and Teller, got in the house, and no matter how drenched I was, I would have been happy. And that's all I really wanted, was to be happy. And to meet Penn and Teller on my birthday. But it didn't happen. And I'm forever agitated because of it. Halloween Horror Nights 23, is something going to happen with Penn and Teller? It's anyone's guess. The IPs will probably return. I have a feeling there will be a Mama House. But I don't know. It works really well for a Horror Nights haunted house, for sure, after watching the movie. So, we'll see what happens with that. The next couple of months, we'll probably get some more information on Halloween Horror Nights. Will Penn and Teller return? Who knows? Vote for Penn Jillette for Celebrity Apprentice All-Stars. I know you can't really vote, but Penn Jillette for Celebrity Apprentice All-Stars winner this year. I think it's Penn and Bret Michaels in the finals, and I think Penn's going to get hired like he should have last year. But that's pretty much my sordid tale. And we're almost 30 minutes in, and I told you guys it's going to be a long video, and this was a very important time, and a very important video I had to make. And the only reason I made it today was because it's actually the 1-year anniversary. Well, the day. It's the 21st. Well, the 8-month and 1-year anniversary of Halloween Horror Nights. The night in question, so let's hope something happens this year. And I will make comments on HHN as I find out more. And hopefully this year, if there's a way, I will meet Penn and Teller if I have the opportunity this time. One way or another, it will happen. Whether it happens this year, next year, or years down the road. The ball's set in motion. It's going to happen. I will meet Penn Teller one way or another. Whether I have to fly out to Las Vegas and go see the show and spend a lot of money just to watch them. If that happens in the next couple years, I might have to. Because it might be my only shot. But thank you guys again for watching the videos. Thank you for enjoying the videos. If you can, subscribe. Actually, I only have about 9 subscribers, but I thank all of you 9 people. The 6 I can see, the 3 I cannot. And thank you for watching the videos, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on a mobile device, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter. Thank you very much for watching these videos. I'm having a blast making them. I'm almost at 1,000 hits for the whole YouTube channel, which is pretty awesome considering I've only done this a couple of months. So keep tuning in, guys, and I'll keep giving you content. And until tomorrow's Raw recap, that's all I got to say about that.